Okay, we're going to get started with the program. If you could all take a seat. Good evening. My name is Stefan Johnson. I'm the Deputy Chief of Police here in Glenview. Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests and friends, welcome to the 50th Civic Awards. I'd like to call up Commander John Wowk and Tricia Melzer-Swaydrak to the stage? Okay. All right. Just having a little bit of a hard time understanding that. If you could all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, the presentation of colors. With American Legion Post 166 Color Guard.
Color Guard, parade the colors. Legionnaires, hand salute.
Right face.
2. Legionnaires uncover. Our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Legionnaires cover.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Color Guard, retire the colors.
Color.
Hand salute.
Present. Arms. Order. Arms. Color guard. Regroup. March.
Now for our invocation, Reverend Mark Pendleton. Of the Glenview New Church.
Will you bow your heads with me? Dear God, as we bow our heads this evening in respect for you, we thank you for the gifts and talents and shining examples of the people we celebrate tonight. We thank you for a Citizen of the Year and for a Youth of the Year and for one who has helped keep our village safe, and others like them who serve us selflessly in so many ways. We open our hearts and minds tonight and celebrate these people for their remarkable accomplishments. May we be inspired by their examples to give the very best that we have to give in all that we say and do. And when it's all over, when tonight is all said and done, may each of us find that quiet place in our hearts and souls where we give all of it back to you for having given all of it to us in the first place. Thanks for all that you do for us. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you. You can all be seated, please. This evening we have a little something special for you. I'd like to bring up Linda Kimball to introduce our next section of our show.
Good evening, everyone. If I could have your attention for just a moment. I want to, as a co-chairman with Kevin Christell, I want to welcome you all here tonight. We are so excited to be celebrating the wonderful honorees that we have, as well as celebrating our 50th anniversary. You might have noticed from the reception area and from the dining room, we have reached our capacity. We have never had a group this large, and we are so delighted that it is for our 50th. We have some special displays out in the foyer, and I hope some of you saw those. We brought the village plaques over that note all of the recipients of Civic Awards for the last 50 years. If you didn't see them when you came in, please look at them. They're on easels, and they, the 4 categories: Citizen of the Year, Youth of the Year, Public Service, Public Safety, everybody from the past 50 years is on those plaques. So please, please look at those plaques. There's also a magnificent scrapbook, and I know it was very crowded out there and very hot, I apologize, but there is a scrapbook that Lynn Stiefel, the communications director for Glenview, and Sandie Elliot, the assistant to the chief of police, put together, and it chronicles all 50 years of all our Civic Awards ceremonies in pictures, newspaper articles. It's a magnificent scrapbook, and it's in the foyer to the left. If you have a chance, when you go out, please look at it. They put so much work into it, and we hope that you look at it. I know many of you have attended past Civic Award banquets because I recognize a lot of faces. And you know that we pretty much have a normal agenda that we stick to. But tonight, because it's our 50th, we're going to kind of deviate from that a little bit. We've got a couple special surprises, a couple things we've been working on. So it won't be our usual format. And tonight, at this point of the program, we would normally recognize all of the past Citizens of the Year that are in attendance. But when we look back at all 50 years and all the amazing, amazing people that have volunteered and been recognized in Glenview for their accomplishments, we had a video montage put together, and we have Tim Davidson, the cable coordinator for Glenview TV, worked so hard on this to put it together. So rather than recognize just the people in attendance, we're going to recognize everybody from the past 50 years. And if I could ask you to put your attention to the two, I feel like a stewardess, to the two screen, not exit, 2 screens in the corner of the room.
Let's give Tim Davidson a huge round of applause for that. I believe we have some Citizens of the Year in the room tonight, correct? Could you all please stand? Give them a round of applause.
In an effort to try to keep this evening going smoothly and to a grand finale here, this is kind of the time we normally do entertainment. And we've had entertainment for 50 years, so we really didn't know what to do. So we talked about bringing back maybe the top 5 or 6 acts. You don't want to sit through that. Okay. So with the help of Glenview TV, Tim Davidson, we have a DVD of many of the entertainers over the last 50 years, and we're going to show that right now.
Everything you do will turn out right. It's a good day from morning till night. Yes, it's a good day for singing a song, and it's a good, good day for moving along. Yes, it's a good day. How could anything go wrong? Yes, it's a good day from morning till night.
In San Francisco, tuning on his trumpet loud and neat. Suddenly a voice said, "Go for Daddy, spread the picture on a wider screen." And the voice said, "Daddy, there's a million pigeons waiting to be hooked on new religion. Hit the road, Daddy, leave your worries and strife. Spread the religion of the rhythm of life."
Good evening. Thank you for inviting us tonight. And what we'd like to do is to show you a little bit about juggling.
Do or die.
If you said goodbye to me tonight, there would still be music left to write. What else could I do? I'm so inspired by you. That hasn't happened for the longest time.
Won't resent, won't despair, old and bent, I won't care, all has spent one day out
Reach for responsibility, clap for fairness, blow a kiss for caring, stop for citizenship. Twist for just worthiness, roll for respect. Reach for responsibility, clap for fairness, blow a kiss for caring, stop for citizenship. For responsibility, clap for fairness, blow a kiss for caring, stop for citizenship.
Your turn. They're going to come out and get you.
Reach for responsibility, clap for fairness, blow a kiss for caring, stop for citizenship.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Twist for just worthiness, roll for respect. Reach for responsibility, clap for fairness, blow a kiss for caring, stop for citizenship. Character counts.
Hello. Oh, thank you. We are 9, and we're very happy to be here tonight. We'd like to take a second to introduce ourselves, all right? Hey, I'm Peter. How you doing? Hi. I'm Mike. How you doing? Peter? Okay. Well, now that we have that out of the way, we'd like to begin for you, all right? Here we go. It seems like we're missing someone. There's only 8 of us. Last time we were missing someone, we had to pick someone by random out of the audience, and so I guess we have to do that now. Who should that be? I know. Ding! How about the Civic Youth of the Year, Bill McFadden? Come on out, Bill. Let's sing. Right there? Yes, right there. All right. All right. Let's see if you'll fit in. Okay. All right. Ready? Okay. 5, 6, 7. Do 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 late last night, all the shades were pulled and drawn. Way down tight from within the dim light cast. 2 silhouettes on the shade. Oh, what a lovely couple they made. Is there anyone out there? 'Cause it's getting harder and harder to breathe.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes,
At times he seems a bit elusive, way off in his private place. I guess he can't be my exclusive when he's back on base. Shabba-ba-doo-doo, baby, shabba-doo-doo, yeah, shoo-ba-ba-doo-doo, shoo-ba-ba-ba-doo-ba-ba-doo, shabba-ba-doo-ba-doo-doo, yeah, shabba-ba-doo-doo-ba-doo-dow.
If there's a prize for unjudgment, I guess I've already won it. No man is worth the aggravation. That's ancient history. Been there, done that. Who'd you think you're kidding? He's the earth and heaven too. You're trying to keep it hidden. Honey, we can see right through you, girl. You can't conceal it. We know how you're feeling, who you thinking of. Whoa, no chance, no way out. You must to us from wings and fly. You must carry the weight of to us from wings and
We'll have to move to the side of the welcome.
Getting the gown, but getting gown. Getting the gown, but getting gown. Getting the gown, but getting gown. Getting the gown, but getting gown.
Time keeps on slipping, slipping into the future.
My friends, I beg of you, do not invest in me too great an expectation. There are very few things more tedious than an ex-president with a head cold. And worse than that, far worse I fear, I have come to that point in life when, whenever I go in public, I am expected to make a speech.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to, thank you. I'd like to welcome you tonight to this momentous occasion marking the 50th year of the Glenview Civic Awards. This is a time-honored tradition that has recognized significant undertakings on behalf of this community from its humble beginnings dating all the way back to 1967. I think I was 3 at the time. This night has always represented good citizenship, love and community pride, and outstanding selfless acts by those who live and work in the Glenview community. Tonight makes this a 50-year standing tradition that remains true to its commitment and mission of honor and recognition. Because of the insight and efforts put forth by the original founders and supporters, this tradition continues. 2017 marks 50 years of civic pride, both past and present, of individuals and groups who have contributed their time, energy, and talent towards outstanding achievements and the advancement of Glenview, making this a resilient and civic-minded community. There are many of you here tonight, seated throughout the room, that hold the esteemed title of past recipient. Whether it was the Citizen of the Year, the Youth of the Year, Public Service, Public Safety, or Special Committee recipient, without each of you, this event would not have made it to a 50-year mark. Your presence here tonight still shows your commitment, and a debt of gratitude is owed to each of you in more than one way. So please let me say, thank you for being here. And to those of you being honored tonight, welcome to the club and congratulations. Thank you very much. Tonight we are here to recognize and honor recipients of the following awards. The Public Safety Award, Jennifer Merilia, Eileen Peyoyo, Milton Tupi, Charlie Tejeda, and Stephen Doctorman. Stephen Doctorman, raise your hand. Are you from the Glenview Doctorman family?
That's right.
His father taught me a lot about everything I knew about handling youth. His father founded our youth program here in Glenview about 35 years ago. Lynn Doctorman. Is that your father? Doc, yes, yeah. The Public Safety Awards for Officer David Mays. Youth of the Year Award, John Schur. Special Committee Awards, Steve Swanson. Ibrahim Valiani. Chris Falcon. Helping Hands of Glenview. And Irene Overman Creer. Last but not least, the Citizen of the Year, Jill Brickman. I would like to thank the service clubs for their continued support of this noteworthy night. If you're here tonight representing a service club, please stand and be recognized as I call them out. American Legion, Post 166. The Glenview Chamber of Commerce. The Glenview Chamber of Commerce. The Glenview Lions Club. Glenview Women of Today, the Kiwanis Club of Glenview and Northbrook, our host club, Navy League Glenview Council, the Optimist Club of Glenview, the Rotary Club of Glenview Sunrise, and the Rotary Club of Glenview Luncheon. Also like to introduce a few village officials. Like to interview them too. We recognize our past and present village, state, and county officials. Please stand and be recognized. Mr. Jim Patterson, the current village president. John Henkamp, village trustee. Paul Detlefs, village trustee. I'm going to butcher this next one. Matt Formica, current village manager. Nancy Furfer, past village trustee and president. Lynn Stiefel, communication manager. Laura Fine, state representative. Mr. Greg Goslin, Cook County Commissioner, the 14th District. Hopefully I didn't leave anyone out. I'd like to also give a special thanks to Reverend Mark Pendleton for the invocation. The Glenview TV or the GVTV crew for providing media coverage. Great job, great job. Again, American Legion, Post 166 Color Guards. Tricia Melzer-Swaydrak for the national anthem. And members of the press who are here tonight. Got a little surprise. I'm going to bring up one of my favorite Glenview citizens, one of the first I ever met. At this time, I would now like to pass the microphone over to Samantha Smith for a few comments.
Thank you. I just got the evil eye from Linda. It's a deviant. Wow, what an evening. Look at the room is so packed full of so many friends, and I've met so many new people tonight also. It's the highlight of the year, and it's so special, and it's especially special that we have our new village manager here, Matt, and his lovely wife, Jessie. He thinks Glenview is special, but he has no idea how extraordinary and unique it is. And the real reason it is, not because of so many things here, it's because of the people. The people who live here and work here are the most outstanding people I think that you've ever met or I've ever met. I've lived in many, many communities, and nobody has this kind of event and so many support. And everybody in this room, if you belong to one community, you belong to 2 or 3 or 4 of them. You wear different hats. And Matt, you're going to be invited to all the organizations, see them all, and with your smiling face, you'll be at all of them, I know. So anyways, this is wonderful. But this evening is a highlight, but you don't get a highlight like this without a lot of work. And the main thing is that we're here tonight, and I've been asked to come up and recognize 2 very, very special people who have been our co-chairs for the Glenview Civic Awards for the past many, many years. I had 14 pages to read, and they said I couldn't do that. We're already going to be here till 11:30, so they wouldn't let me read that. So I'm going to ask Kevin, Christell, and Linda Kimball to please come up. Don't hit me. Okay. As you've indicated before, this is going to be your last year of being co-chair. Sad, sad, sad for us.
She said it before.
I mean it. But no, she told me, she mentioned that it's a job. It's very time consuming. It's a very job. But the community at large, knowing this, wanted to present you with a small token of their appreciation for your hard work in all the many years. So if I can have, this one is for Kevin. If you would take this, and I'm going to read, all my notes got wet, so I had to tear things apart. Somehow it got wet. But anyways, it says on this beautiful crystal piece, Glenview Civic Awards 50th year celebration, presented on April 21st, 2017 to Kevin Christell. In recognition of your support and dedicated service as co-chair of the Glenview Civic Awards 2009 to 2017. And a big thank you.
Thank you.
Linda, come over here, Linda. I'm going to miss our calls. I mean, she gets so excited every year. Oh, Samantha, look at I'm going to do this year. We're going to change this, and I'm going to get this done, and I'm going to have this entertainment. Yeah, okay, good. Because it's so thrilling to be out in California and still know everything that's happening back here. And Linda and I have become so close for so many years, and I'm just so thrilled. And I know how much she just loves doing this work. I mean, it's been part of your life for a long time. Love doing the work, but I also know the time consuming that it has been in your life. And now you're going to get a chance to seek out different interests that you have because you have many others, so it'll be great for you. I get confused here. Let's see. And I've talked to and been in contact with several past Citizens of the Year and other community leaders, and they all say there's no way they're going to let this drop. And so they will take it on some way or another. They're going to put it, but they will need the help of you and your expert advice. And Sandie's help also, because you can't do it without Sandie. I like to, yeah. Okay. And I'd like to present this beautiful crystal plaque or piece to Linda, and it reads, it is not what, I can't see here, it's not what we receive that makes us rich, it's but what we give. And that's Linda. Glenview Civic Awards 50th year celebration presented April 21st, 2017 to Linda Kimball. In recognition of the lives you have touched through your service as co-chair of the Glenview Civic Awards from 1998 to 2017. Thank you so much.
Being a co-chair of the Glenview Civic Awards for all these years has been such a delight. And I figure since I've been here 19 years now, maybe you'll give me just a moment to speak. I was extremely touched, moved beyond words when I was given the Glenview Citizen of the Year Award for 1989. It was so meaningful to me, and it was so meaningful to my family, that I promised myself that if an opportunity ever arose to become involved with the Civic Awards, that I would volunteer for it immediately. My wish was that I could make the Civic Awards experience, and that's really what it is, I could make it as meaningful for people that came after me as it had been for me. So my wish came true a few short years later when Samantha took over the chairmanship, and she asked me to be her assistant. And I was delighted, and I jumped at the chance. And we worked together really, really well, I think, for a few years. Then she invited me to be her co-chairman, and I was just really excited about that. And I was her co-chair. We were co-chairs for 2 years. And then she abandoned me and went to California. But because I was such a proud resident of Glenview, and because I so believe in volunteer recognition, I decided to carry it on. But I knew that I needed and wanted a co-chair, and I asked Jim Smirlis. And Jim was not involved in village government anymore. He was divesting himself of his business interest, and I was hoping he'd have time. I asked him, and he immediately agreed to be my co-chair. We were able to work together for just a few months, and sadly, very sadly, he passed away. But then I asked Kevin Christell, and as I said, the rest is history. Kevin and I have worked together so many years, and I've enjoyed absolutely every minute of it. But one of the best things about being a co-chair of Civic Awards, and I hope you will listen to this, those of you that'll take it over after Kevin and I leave, there are two bonuses, and one is working with the amazing volunteers from the service clubs and the chamber that sponsor this event. Working with all these volunteers has been fabulous, but the other is working with the different people we've had on our committees throughout the years. They have been creative and talented and dedicated and really made what Kevin and I have done and what Samantha and I did. These other extraneous people have been absolutely amazing. So even though I don't live or work in Glenview anymore, part of my heart will always be here. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity for, at least in some small part, to contribute to the community. Thank you.
As Linda's second choice, I too want to thank everybody. And like Linda said, it's just such an honor to be able to continue a tradition that honors the best we have in Glenview. The volunteers, the great talent, the youths of the year. Every year are more amazing. You saw the tremendous talent we had during our dinners. And it's just been a great, great event, and I'm sure it'll continue. And I would hope that everybody will return next year and honor the recipients in 2018. Thanks.
Can you come back up, please, Linda? Linda Kimball.
I'm going to bring Kevin with me.
Okay, all right.
Number 2.
Before we give out the special committee awards, I wish to acknowledge the members of the Civic Awards Committee this year. They have been invaluable in assisting us. Jim Patterson, Village President, Lynn Stiefel, Director of Communications, Betsy Bayer, Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce, Tim Davidson. Oh, Tim Davidson, you did such a wonderful job this year. Cable Coordinator for GVTV, and Sandie Elliot, Executive Assistant to Glenview's Police Chief. This is Sandie's 20th year of being involved in the Civic Awards. And you know, I think I'd like Sandie to come up to the podium. I'm going to ask Samantha to join us too, because Sandie worked very closely with Samantha and me. I don't know what to say about Sandie Elliot. Sandie is really the glue that holds this all together. She's absolutely amazing. I could go on and on, but I'm going to read the words on this plaque that we're giving her tonight. For outstanding achievement presented to Sandie Elliot, in recognition and appreciation for 20 years of involvement with the Glenview Civic Awards Committee. Your extraordinary dedication, consummate professionalism, exceptional organizational skills, and tireless cooperation have enabled us to achieve our goals beyond measure. You have the sincere gratitude of the Glenview Civic Awards Committee Chairman, that'd be us, the Glenview Civic Awards Committee members, the Glenview service organizations, the Glenview Chamber of Commerce, and the citizens of Glenview.
Thank you.
You have to say something.
Not my forte, but all right, here's something about me. There's a necklace that I wear every day. I never take it off. It has a word. There's a necklace that I wear every day and I never take it off. It has the word blessed on it. And I wear it because I feel I truly am in all aspects of my life. And being part of this has given me the opportunity to really get to know so many of you over the years. You know my voice, I know your voice. Mr. Fuller came in and someone called me and said, there's a gentleman here that looked like Santa Claus. I said, oh, that's Mr. Fuller. Mr. Bickley and so many others. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
We will definitely miss working with Sandie. All of us will. There were two people that Stefan did not mention that I would like to acknowledge tonight, and one is Lucy Lanuski, and I don't know if she's in the room. She's the catering manager here at North Shore Country Club, and she and her staff really deserve applause and thanks. And we love Lucy. We love Lucy. The other person we want to thank is Tony Kolskowski, who was our violinist, our entertainer this evening. Tony, if you'd stand. Thank you. So now, let's get down to the business at hand. As you know, the Civic Awards Committee is comprised of one member from each sponsoring organization. The names of those organizations that were represented this year on the selection committee are on the back of your program, and they have the responsibility of choosing an award recipient for the four categories: Citizen of the Year, Youth of the Year, Public Safety, and Public Service, and then they select a recipient. They also may designate people who qualify for special recognition that don't fit the criteria for those four awards. The criteria for a special committee award is the recipient must have made a significant difference in the village of Glenview, must be respected by residents and businesses of the community, must have contributed to the village of Glenview in a unique manner, and would preferably reside or work in the village. This year, the selection committee has chosen to honor one organization and four individuals. The first award will be given to the organization Helping Hands of Glenview, and I'd like to call Bob Anthony, past president of that organization, to the podium. And I'm also going to ask Samantha Smith to stand the podium because she was the founder of Helping Hands of Glenview. Hi, Bob. Helping Hands of Glenview was founded in 1988 as a local not-for-profit organization with goals of assisting Glenview's elderly and disabled residents. Specific areas of service were, and continue to be, free transportation to and from appointments, grocery stores, or local shops, annual yard cleanup, and occasionally providing special financial assistance for specific needs. Additionally, special assistance is provided by the Helping Hands Fund, which is administered in consultation with local social workers. Helping Hands volunteers are assisted by Glenbrook South High School service clubs, local scouting groups, and local service organization members. On the Helping Hands webpage, there were two quotes that caught my eye. Quote, "Responding to the simplest needs of the elderly can ease a burden that could otherwise be overwhelming." And the other, "Volunteering for an hour or two each week is incredibly rewarding." During its 30 years of service, Helping Hands of Glenview has provided approximately 30,000 rides, an average of 80 to 100 rides a month, coordinated and provided by selfless volunteers. The Volunteer Board of Directors works closely with the Glenview Village Senior Coordinator in assessing needs and areas of urgent service. Needless to say, many senior and disabled Glenview residents have greatly benefited from the generosity of so many people associated with Helping Hands. So Samantha and I would like to present this plaque, and it reads, "The Special Committee Award is presented to the Helping Hands of Glenview in recognition of 29 years of distinguished service to senior and disabled residents of the Village of Glenview through the provision of transportation, special assistance, facilitating social work consultation, and providing financial aid for specific needs, and the exemplary cooperation and coordination of efforts with other local not-for-profit organizations, scouting troops, high school service clubs, to address the special needs of the elderly. The Special Committee Award is given with sincere gratitude by the service organizations and citizens of Glenview, Illinois."
I'm very proud to accept this for our many volunteers. The mission of Helping Hands is threefold: to help the seniors, go to doctor's appointments, shopping, and funds when they need it. I'm going to tell you who the people are that they mentioned previously. Some of the people that are very important to us start off with our phone coordinators, Barbara Pollock and Janet Palmero, and most especially our volunteer drivers. Without them, we would not exist. Then we move on to the exceptional group of true helpers who make the yard cleanup every year possible. They include Cub Pack 59 from Henking Hoffman School, various Girl Scout troops from Atia Middle School, the Interact and K clubs from Glenbrook South High School. Others who step in are Glenview Community Church and the First Korean Church. Yard cleanup supplies us, Yard cleanup suppliers of leaf bags are Ace Hardware, Home Depot, Jewel on Lake Avenue. Groot Recycling picks up the bags free of charge for all the people whose yards get cleaned. And sometimes there's over 400 bags. That's a small year. And they don't charge anything. We also provide emergency funds for people in need. Our sources of income are our dues and our donations. We are happy to be able to serve these people that need it. Thank you.
This is the last you'll hear from me, I promise. I just want to recognize that there are several people out in the audience that are past board members and past, there's past presidents, Diane Selka, and is here, and Lauren Schwag, and her husband, Joe Schwag, is the president now, and I have not even met Joe because I've dumping it down. So I get to meet you tonight, though. But he's, again, involved with the senior center. Everybody's, like I said before, everyone's involved with 2 or 3 different groups. And thank you so much. We are always looking for drivers. We give these rides free. And I just happen to have some forms here if you want to help out or become a member or help with the driving. The seniors can use a lot more drivers than we get. So thank you so much for everything. Thank you.
Our next special committee award is being presented to Irene Overman-Creer. Irene, could you join us? You want to help her up this time? Thank you. Irene Overman-Creer, who is affectionately known in Glenview as Reen, correct?
Correct.
Has dedicated a lifetime of selfless contributions to the village of Glenview. Through her generosity, her keen intelligence, her organizational prowess, her business acumen, and her limitless energy, she has touched the lives of countless Glenview residents and several generations since she moved to Glenview 69 years ago. Irene's volunteer activities over the years have included, but are not limited to, District 34 and 225 PTA boards, involvement in the GBS caucus, Girl Scout troop leader, Glenview Community Church Sunday School and confirmation class teacher, church greeter and usher, and Memorial Garden committee member, and she was affectionately known as the picture lady in many of our elementary schools. But what Irene is probably best known for is her involvement with the Glenview Library. Because of her lifelong love of books, she became involved with the Friends of the Library in 1948. Since then, she has served as the president and program chair and has founded and managed Friends of Glenview Library's used bookstore since 2007. In 2016, the Glenview Public Library Board of Trustees, in recognition for her vision and her incredible work ethic, renamed the used bookstore after her. It is now known as the Irene Overman-Creer Used Bookstore. Irene has been quoted as saying, "Obviously, the village is obligated to provide resources to its citizens. Citizens, though, have an obligation to volunteer a portion of their time to the community. So, I am," and which you have done. Irene has demonstrated her passion for volunteering with imagination, leadership, clearly defined goals, and unlimited generosity. For these reasons, I would like to present a special committee award to Irene Creer, and her plaque reads, "In recognition of dedicated community advocacy, generosity of spirit, and exceptional volunteerism in the village of Glenview, and a life of service and commitment to church, community, schools, and youth services, and selfless dedication to the betterment and expansion of services in the Glenview Library, and tireless work that has made this community a better place to live and learn." Congratulations. Put it here.
Thank you very much for the recognition of my volunteer work in the Glenview community. I believe my first volunteer work began as a child, and the job fit my small size, which was helping in a Sunday school class distributing crayons. My volunteer work expanded along with my age through the school and college years and even to today. I read that the Pulitzer Prize-winning historian David McCulloch said that he wishes that American students knew more about American history but it encourages him to know that there are more libraries in this country than there are McDonald's restaurants or Starbucks coffee locations. That's funny to think of, but it is an interesting thing to know. And knowing that and looking around at the other honorees and learning of their particular contributions to our community, I do believe that our shared future is full of promise. I am sure that each of us will make every effort to continue to deserve such recognition as tonight. Thank you.
Wait a minute, Irene. We've got a pretty diverse beginning here. Now we're going to go to the Nature Center here. We need Steve Swanson to step up here.
Where's Sam?
Steve Swanson has provided exceptional and dedicated service to the Glenview Park District. He has served as the director of the Grove National Historic Landmark of Glenview for 38 years. During his tenure with the Grove, Steve has developed a nationally known and respected historical museum, a thriving recreation and education facility, and a destination of thousands of people each year. Steve has acted as a steadfast guardian for the historic treasures of the Grove. Countless historic photos, letters, artifacts have been procured and protected under his management. He was instrumental in restoring the 1856 Kennicott House. He oversaw the construction of the one-room schoolhouse log cabin, Native American log house, blacksmith shop, archives building, and the Redfield Carriage House and Pavilion. Additionally, Steve has been a responsible steward for the environment, both at the Grove and beyond. He has worked tirelessly to improve the health of the Grove's woodlands, wetlands, and prairies. He's also spearheaded numerous land acquisition efforts, which has resulted in the Grove's expansion by 64 acres. Steve planned and supervised the construction of the Grove's Interpretive Center, which showcases live animals, exhibits, and artifacts, and has served as a model for other nature centers. His years of working closely with the Village of Glenview, the Glenview Park District, the Grove Heritage Association, the North Branch Restoration Project, just to name a few, as well as being a true visionary with a well-balanced philosophy of conservation, recreation, and education, have merited his receiving the Special Committee Award. Please let me read the inscription on the plaque. 2016 Special Committee Award presented to Steve Swanson in recognition of 38 years of distinguished service with the Glenview Park District as a director of the Grove National Historic Landmark in the Village of Glenview, and dedication to both the restoration and revitalization of the 1856 Kennicott House and the construction of the Grove's Interpretive Center, and tireless work that has enabled the Glenview Park District to offer exceptional opportunities for recreation, education, and interactive environmental experiences. The Special Committee Award is given with a sincere gratitude by the service organizations and citizens of Glenview, Illinois, 21st day of April 2017.
Oh, thank you.
We're going to picture her first.
Thank you, everyone. You know, it's just been such a pleasure to work in this community. I grew up in the community. I went to our schools. Working for the Glenview Park District has just been a fabulous experience in my life. And they're the greatest stewards the Grove could ever have. And their dedication to preservation there and all the works that we've done has just been phenomenal. The Grove Heritage Association, our citizen support group, has just been tremendous to work with over the years. They've raised tens of millions of dollars for us. But that's just part of our story at the Grove. Without the school district and the high school and the village of Glenview, the History Center, the library, our state and local representatives, Greg Goslin, whose daughter volunteered at the Grove many years ago, we wouldn't be what we are today. We have 150 some volunteers currently, and it's just a tremendous pleasure to have worked with everybody. And although we're transitioning, my family who's here tonight and friends to Florida shortly, we're in good hands. I want to just take a minute, and Lauren Ottlinger, will you stand up? She's our new Grove director, and she's going to carry us forward in the future. There'll be great continuity at the site. And I leave to Florida with so many great memories, but knowing that the Grove is in great hands. You know, I always have to say something about the Kennicotts, and I'm going to be like Robert Kennicott. You know, he used to say that no matter where he was, if he was on the Yukon River, he could always face the Grove, because the Grove was like a compass in his heart. And I feel that same way going to Florida. When I'm on the beach in my shorts, permanently, I will be able to face the Grove and like it's a compass in my heart. So thank you all for your support. And the great citizens of Glenview who's made all this happen. Thank you. Thank you so much. Congratulations. I have to go say hi to my friend Sam.
Our final special committee awards are being presented to two gentlemen this evening, Chris Falcon and Abraham Viliani. Could you join me, please, at the podium, gentlemen? Chris and Abraham are being recognized together for an organization that they jointly formed called Glenview Community Connect. Because they both feel strongly about community involvement, they started the Community Outreach Program. The mission of the program is to bridge a gap of understanding in the Glenview community with residents and the people that people that it serves. Working with Glenview's police and fire departments, State Representative Laura Fine, Secretary of State Jesse White, and others, an October 2016 event was held called Coffee with a Cop. This concept brought police officers and community members together to learn more about each other and to promote open discussion about local issues. Jointly, they have demonstrated leadership, insight, and commitment to the Glenview community. But individually, they've also made significant contributions in Glenview. Chris Falcon has created a community-based mentoring program called the Glenview Mentoring, and it's for children to learn about career paths and opportunities. And he's aligned himself with almost 80 businesses in his efforts. He also originated Operation REMI, am I saying that wrong? Yeah. A community outreach program based on risk reduction through education, motivation, and intervention. This is for Glenview youth. Although still in its infancy, the goals are to impact the connection with men and women in law enforcement to connect with the youth in Glenview. As a member of the Glenview Chamber of Commerce, he's on their board of directors and serves as the chairman of the Young Professionals Group. Abraham Viliani is the conduit for the Ismaili Jamat Khana and Village Services. This Glenview-based organization is involved in many civic engagement opportunities and continually hosts programs and events that benefit the Glenview community. They have partnered with Glenview's fire department on several canned food events benefiting local food pantries, and they've involved local youth in their packing sessions. Being involved in initiatives of the Ismaili community engaged in responsible volunteering, or the acronym I Serve, Abraham promotes activities of youth Ismaili volunteers to dedicate their time and energy to assist those in need and make a positive difference in the lives of others. And having a deep concern about community health and safety, Abraham is involved with many Ismaili volunteers that are certified and trained in CPR and first aid and disaster management and recovery. These volunteers are ready, willing, and able to assist should there be a natural disaster or a search and rescue mission that needs attention. Truly, we are most fortunate to have these two men involved and dedicated to the village of Glenview. And I would like to present the plaques to each of these gentlemen. Thank you. We'll do Chris first. To Chris Falcon, in recognition of insight, leadership, and committed efforts to address youth risk reduction through a community outreach program incorporating mentoring, education, motivation, and intervention, and involvement and interaction with local legislators, police and fire departments, and community members to address and understand community resources, community needs, and community diversity, and the tireless work that has made this community a better place to live. I'm going to speak in 1 minute. I'll let them speak in 1 minute, but this is to Abraham. In dedication to the Glenview community through the initiative Community Engaged in Responsible Volunteering and the involvement and interaction with local legislators, police and fire departments, and community members to understand and address community resources, needs, and community diversity. Civic engagement and community connectivity through initiatives facilitated by members of the Ismaili Jamaica and the tireless work that makes our community a better place to live.
You know, I had only one wish for tonight, and that was that they wouldn't put me on here with Abraham at the same time, because he is by far the best dressed person in Glenview, and there should be another award for best dress, and that would go to him for sure. You know, I want to thank Chief Steph Johnson, who I consider one of my mentors, as well as Chief Clicker for nominating me for this incredibly prestigious award. When I was a young boy, I didn't think that I could be much in life. And, you know, I couldn't throw football very well or play basketball. I couldn't sing or dance. And all the people that appeared to do something exceptional with their lives didn't quite look like me. Now, fast forward to today, and I know that life is about way more than simply what you're going to be when you grow up. It's about what you're going to do. It's about who you're going to help, and it's about how you're going to impact the world for the better. Now, I know that sounds awfully ambitious, but the truth is it's really not that hard. It only requires for us to accept and understand one simple concept, that in order to take better care of ourselves, we have to take better care of each other. Thank you.
So, not much more I can add after that, Chris, but I've met many wonderful people over the 8 years that we've been at the Ismaili Jamaat Khana in Glenview, and I'm looking forward to many more memories with the rest of you. Special mention to DC Johnson. A lot goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people aren't even aware of, but we've been able to make some strides to help the community here, and I'm a big believer in diversity is strength, and we're here to help in any way that we can. Thank you so much.
I think now's the correct time to bring up Village President Jim Patterson.
Thank you, Steph. Well, good evening. It's hard to believe we're just starting to get into some of these things, so but really and truly, that's what this community is all about. It's getting people involved and appreciating what each other have done and recognizing that. And that makes this community so much stronger when there is a sense of who and what we are. And with that, I would like to ask Officer Dave Mays to come on up here and stand next to me so we all know who you are while we read about you. And I understand you have a few people with you?
I do.
Who might that be?
My wife and my mother.
They're welcome to come on up.
Well, nice try. Nice try. I'm okay.
Okay. We'll have them come up right after.
Sure.
So, Officer Dave Mays from the Glenview Police Department, in appreciation for services rendered above and beyond the call of duty to the village of Glenview. This is our Public Safety Award. Our first impulse when encountering someone in medical distress is to do something, anything. Many times, however, it takes training and professionalism to do the right thing. When Officer David Mays responded to a call to assist an unresponsive person on November 16th, 2016, he found the elderly man sitting in a chair under a carport. Officer Mays gently lowered the man to the ground and checked for a pulse. There was no pulse. He retrieved the automated external defibrillator from his unit and applied it, but it recommended against administering a shock. So no shock. Officer Mays was about to administer CPR when paramedics arrived and resuscitated the man. Later, it was determined that the lack of oxygen had caused the man's heart to slow. Because he'd been sitting in a chair, his inability to breathe probably caused him to become unconscious. Quickly lowering him to the ground was the pivotal action that Police Chief William Fitzpatrick believes saved the man's life. This isn't the first time that Officer Mays, an 11-year member of the force, has been the recipient of a Public Safety Award because of his life-saving actions. He was part of the team recognized in 2015 for aiding a woman trapped in a bedroom by a fire. So again, Officer Mays is to be commended for his professionalism, swift response, and quick thinking that contributed to the positive outcome of this medical emergency. Further to that, I would also like to mention that he received a departmental commendation, which is the department's highest form of recognition. So we have a plaque that I'd like to read to you. This says the 2016 Glenview Public Safety Award presented to Officer Dave Mays in recognition of your clear thinking, prompt action, and professionalism above and beyond the call of duty. This award is given with heartfelt appreciation from the service organizations and the citizens of Glenview, Illinois. Glenview Civic Awards, this 21st day of April 2017, James R. Patterson Jr., President of the Village of Glenview, Illinois. We also have a letter from Commissioner Greg Goslin of the 14th District. And then we have, this is our Glenview Police Department Departmental Commendation for Officer David Mays, officer number 120. Is that your star number? There's a lot to read here, so I think. And then from the state of Illinois, we have from the 100th General Assembly, House of Representatives, acknowledges David Mays in recognition of receiving the Public Safety Award at the Glenview Civic Awards, and joins in the commemoration of the effort, dedication, and hard work that led to the success, and further expresses its best wishes for personal happiness and professional achievement offered by Representative Laura Fine. And with that, I would say congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Would you like to say anything?
I'll say a little bit.
And while Officer Mays has a couple of comments, we would like the rest of his family to come on up, and Kathy, too, so we can take pictures, but we'll do that. Please step forward.
Okay, well, I didn't prepare a speech, so it's going to be relatively quick. I hope so. I'd actually like to thank my boss, Commander Kathy Sostek, and also Deputy Chief Johnson for their continued support and also their training that we receive. Without that training, the stuff that we do, I would not be up here today. I'd also like to thank the people of Glenview because of the support that you guys give the police department. It really helps us out and gets us the training that we need to handle situations like this. So thank you very much. brought them all up.
Yes.
Let's see, we'll get all in there. Oops, sorry. Thank you.
You know, you see all these policemen out of uniform, and then you think, wait a second, deputy chief, commander, officer, then you call them by their first name. Our next award is a public service award, so I would ask that Steve Doctorman, Jennifer Marilia, Charlie Tejeda, Milton Tupi, and Aileen Poyoyo, excuse me. Please come on up here so we can see who you are. Thank you all. Congratulations. What would you do if you saw a crime being committed? That what-if scenario became real for the 5 citizens on February 14th, 2016, when they were doing, of all things, their laundry at 6:30 in the morning. Aileen Payoyo, Jennifer Mahilia, thank you, Charlie Tejeda, Milton Tupi, and Stephen Doctorman were in the Maytag laundry when 3 of them saw a man inside the Villains Food and Liquor next door. He was wearing a ski mask, carrying a backpack, and had tools in his hands. As he leaned over the counter near the register, he noticed the witnesses and ran to leave the store through the back door. That set off the burglar alarm. While Aileen called 911, Milton went to the rear door and confronted the burglar. "Okay, I'm caught," the man said. How about I put everything back? Will you let me go?" "No deal," Milton said, and as he escorted the man back to the store, by now joined by the other 4 witnesses, the man tried to flee again, but was tackled by Charlie and Milton, who held him on the ground until a Cook County Sheriff's police deputy arrived. The deputy had heard the 911 call dispatched and arrived on the scene in time to help with the second capture of the offender. The man had gotten into the store through the rooftop ventilation system. Cash he had taken from the safe, as well as tools and cigarettes, were found in the backpack. He had been trying to cut open the Illinois lottery safe when he was interrupted by the witnesses. Based on the witness statements, evidence, and admissions of guilt by the offender, Glenview officers and detectives presented the case to the Cook County State's Attorney, and the man was charged with burglary and possession of burglary tools. In nominating these 5 courageous and altruistic and involved citizens, Glenview Police Chief William Fitzpatrick said this: "Police departments may have the latest technology, the most advanced forensic science, and the best computer systems at their disposal. But when it comes to fighting crime, the public is still our most important tool." Congratulations. So there are 5 of these, and I'm not going to read all 5. But the 2016 Glenview Public Service Award presented to, fill in the blank, each of you warrant recognition in recognition of outstanding acts of prompt, courageous, and selfless action on February 14th, 2016 in support of public safety. This award is given with heartfelt thanks from the service organizations and citizens of Glenview, Illinois. Glenview Civic Awards, this 21st day of April 2017, James R. Patterson Jr., Village of Glenview President. We also have a letter, once again, from Commissioner Greg Goslin for each of you, as well as a certificate of recognition again from our representative Laura Fine, and then we have some public service letters for each of you. So with that, I would ask everybody to please recognize them, and I would ask, would any of you like to say anything? Yes, please.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate the other 4 people. The world needs more people like these 4. I'd like to dedicate this to the memory of my father, who was a Glenview policeman from 1967 to 1990. He passed away about 4 years ago. I miss you, Dad. Thank you.
So you hear the car alarm and you think, is it anything? Or you hear a burglar alarm, is it anything? They actually paid attention and looked around and did something. Although this is the 50th anniversary of the Civic Awards, it's actually only the 45th time that we're presenting an award to the Youth of the Year that was established in 1972. So before we introduce the Youth of the Year, I'd like to bring up Kevin Christell to talk just briefly about this category. Kevin?
Thanks, Jim. Jim said briefly, but Lynn Stiefel has done a lot of research on past Youth of the Year, and I have 5 pages. I have 5 pages. I've condensed it a little bit, Lynn. So just some interesting notes. Lynn spent hours and hours and hours on the internet, on the phone, a lot of research. I don't know if she did it on company time or not. She did. All right, try to follow this. 4 youth recipients are connected as family. Meg Whitman McFadden, Youth of the Year 1973, is the mother of brother winners Bill McFadden, 2000, and Mike McFadden, 2002. Bill McFadden is married to Kirby Grace Cantwell McFadden, Youth of the Year 1999. Twice siblings were selected. Jenny Tilligman in 89 and Julie, her sister, in 93. Bill McFadden and Mike McFadden, 2000 and 2002. 2 youth recipients were also chosen for the Glenbrook South Distinguished Alumni Award. Thomas Craig Nelson, 1979, Youth of the Year 1979, received the award in 1993. Philip Gatone, Youth of the Year 1980, recipient of the award in 2000. 2 youth recipients have been elected to local boards. Dan Peterson is serving on the Glenview Park Board. Catherine Davis Vega, just elected to the Glenview Library Board. And there's one mother-daughter combo. Citizen of the Year, Joyce Blazer, 1991, and daughter Michelle, Youth of the Year, 1987. That's big deal. I'm going to just touch on a few of these, and you can see this is how many pages that Lynn gave me. 1973, Margaret Whitman McFadden, graduated from Mundelein College, now part of Loyola University. During her now 23-year career at District 34's Westbrook School, she first worked as a reading support teacher and for the last 15 years, health coordinator, grandmother of 3. Her interests are quilting, gardening, and bike riding. Daniel Wesner, recipient 1974 Youth of the Year, earned his BA in History and Honors in Humanity from Stanford in 1979. Law degree from the University of Virginia in 1983. Master of Divinity in Theology, Princeton, 1990. Doctorate in International Studies from the University of Denver, 2001. Dan chairs the history and politics at Regis University in Denver. He's worked on extensive local and national level development projects in China and Vietnam, and has taught development-related subjects in 10 countries, from the Himalaya to the Mekong to the Andes to the Adirondacks. Dr. Wesner teaches law, human rights, peace building, development discourse, political philosophy. He is a member of the State Bar of California and an ordained minister of the Mennonite Church. Yeah. 1978 Youth of the Year was Daniel Peterson. He's a CPA, most recently transitioned to Principal Emeritus for ZS Associates, global management consulting firm focused on sales and marketing that he's been with for 32 years. In his second term as Glenview Park Board Commissioner, graduated from Drake University, earned an MBA from Northwestern University, volunteers at the Boy Scouts, on the board of North Light Theater and Northern Suburban Special Recreation Association Foundation, is an instrument-rated private pilot. Thomas Craig Nelson, 1979, won the GBS Distinguished Alumni Award in 1993. After earning an undergraduate degree in industrial engineering from Stanford and an MBA from Harvard, Nelson worked as a private equity executive, founded a venture capital firm with a Harvard classmate who turned out to be his future wife, and served as an assistant to the then Defense Secretary Dick Cheney. Nelson's parents were Swedish immigrants who lived in Glenview. His father, Nels Richard Nelson, was a marketing executive for IBM. He's currently president and CEO of National Gypsum Company. 1980. I'm not going to go through all these. 1980, Philip Gatone won the Distinguished Alumni Award for Glenbrook South in 2000. Phil received a bachelor's degree in marketing in 1981 from Bradley, master's degree in education in 2000 from National Louis University. The Epilepsy Foundation announced in June of 12 that the board of directors had selected Philip to lead the foundation as its president and CEO. Catherine Davis Vega graduated from Duke University in 1995, Northwestern University, Pritzker School of Law. She is senior legal counsel at Accenture and has now been elected to the Glenview Library Board. Kirby, this is 1999, Kirby Grace Cantwell McFadden earned an undergraduate degree from the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign and a law degree from St. Louis University. Currently an assistant U.S. attorney in Las Vegas, Nevada. She married William McFadden. (2006) recipient Jessica Garvey started the Youth Makes a Difference 5K run walk for Youth Services of Glenview Northbrook in 2004. She's an accountant with Adams Street Partners. Is responsible for providing financial and accounting support to the firm's multiple funds, previously with Deloitte Touche. University of Illinois graduate, BS and Masters of Accounting and Science. Whoever the Youth of the Year this year, you have a lot to live up to. Jim?
Boy, I hope we don't recap all of those every year. So there, a young man here named John Scherer. Please come forward. Good evening. John's up here as Youth of the Year. There are apparently not enough superlatives to describe our 2016 Youth of the Year, although his nominators certainly tried. If I could clone him, I would, declared Amy O'Leary, Executive Director of Youth Services of Glenview Northbrook. He represents the very best of Glenview youth, wrote Glenbrook South Principal Lauren Fagel. Said Joshua Koo, the Key Club faculty advisor, I certainly doubt I will ever come across another student of John's caliber. John is the epitome of what it means to be a Titan, and further, what that means to the community of Glenview, stated Karen Geddes, Glenbrook High School District 225's Director of Public Relations and Communications. John is the finest student I've encountered in my 28 years of teaching, Glenbrook South English teacher John Allen said. And from Jim Shellard, Glenbrook South's Assistant Principal of Student Activities. In my entire 23-year career, I have never met someone more deserving of this award. Wow. So those are just other people's comments. John Scher's list of accomplishments truly is awe-inspiring. Here are just a few. It is shorter than Kevin's last list, but. Student Council President and President of his freshman, sophomore, and junior class. Key Club President, Editor-in-Chief of Calliope, the literary and visual arts magazine. Executive News Editor for the Oracle newspaper. President of Students for Students, the Drug and Alcohol-Free Club. President of Glenbrook South's Amnesty International chapter. Peer Group and Titan Nation leader. District 225 Public Relations and Communications intern. But John isn't simply a respected leader, he's a builder. During his tenure at Calliope, the staff grew from a handful of students to more than 30 members. Membership in Key Club grew to 500 from more than 40. John meets challenges with artistry and creativity. He linked his volunteer work at youth services to his high school by helping produce a lip dub video to raise awareness for youth services. As student director of the 2017 GBS Variety Show, John helped to portray the plight of refugees around the world through music and video. An outstanding role model who brings positivity and contagious calm and grace to his work. John Scher is our Youth of the Year of 2016. John? Once again, we have a letter from Cook County Commissioner Greg Goslin. We have a certificate of recognition from our state representative, Laura Fine. And we have some Youth of the Year letters, for an assortment, I'm sure. But I would like to read the plaque. 2016 Glenview Youth of the Year Award presented to John Scher in recognition of your leadership and dedication to numerous youth activities and your tireless and caring community service. This award is given with heartfelt thanks from the service organizations and citizens of Glenview, Illinois. Glenview Civic Awards, this 21st day of April, 2017, James R. Patterson Jr., President of the Village of Glenview. Congratulations, John.
Thank you.
Would you like to say a couple of words? Good.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is John Scher, and tonight I am truly honored to receive the recognition as Glenview Youth of the Year. I would first and foremost like to thank the Civic Awards Committee, Mr. Patterson, my family who is here tonight, and many of my mentors from Glenbrook South High School for this award and opportunity to speak before you all. Now, I understand it's been quite a long night, right? So we're going to do a little activity to spice things up, and hopefully you'll want to hear everything I have to say after that. I invite everyone to please stand up at this time. I'm sure that'll feel good. Can everybody please clap your hands? Mom and Dad, I got a standing ovation. You may be seated. There's nothing like a dad joke to spice things up. So, Dr. Jim Shellard, who actually I'll have you stand up as well. I'd love to highlight you tonight. Please stand. Dr. Shellard is our soon-to-be retired GBS Student Activities Director. Every day, he says the same quote when he concludes the morning announcements. Make it a great day, South. And even though he has said it every single day for probably the last 23 years, or approximately 4,209 times, I know, and our Titan community knows, that he believes those words wholeheartedly, for they are his creed. And thanks to him, those words guide me day in and day out. This year alone, there have been so many great days, and tonight I'm excited to share just 2 of those with you all. The first date is September 16th, 2016. On this great day, we filmed the Glenbrook South Lip Dub, which is a type of video intending to highlight the school's unique students, opportunities, and spirit. Our goal was to involve every single Titan in the production of that lip dub, which aired that night on a giant screen at the varsity football game in the John Davis Stadium. By the way, we lost the game, of course. We had a rough record this year, to say the least. Now, while viewing the final product, each spectacle in the lip dub was met with roars and cheers from the stands, and you could feel the energy radiating from each Titan present that night. On YouTube, the video has gained widespread attention with nearly 40,000 views and counting. Through a social media outlet called Instagram, the video has been seen by 1.2 million viewers. Whoa, right? Last night I was reading through some of the comments, the video's comments, some of which were from GBS students. One girl commented, "What was this for?" And a GBS student responded, "Dr. Shellard is retiring." All jokes aside, putting this day together not only unified our student body, but served as a fundraiser for the youth services of Glenview and Northbrook, a place I have come to deeply appreciate as a volunteer. Being able to support a worthy cause while showing Titan pride in one initiative is truly one of the most special things I've ever been a part of. Stay hydrated. The second date is December 12th, 2016. On this great day, a group of GBS students from Key Club, our service organization under the direction of Mr. Josh Koo, here in the front. He won't stand because he's filming me. Incoming student activities director, headed over to Pleasant Ridge Elementary School to help their student council kick off the first ever Random Acts of Kindness Week. For GBS, this date marked the start of our 3rd annual campaign. During Random Acts of Kindness, classes, athletics, activities, and individuals express their own kind gestures. While some deeds are small, such as holding the door for strangers or smiling at others, larger scale efforts have included surprise a cappella serenades in classes and teacher appreciation videos. Our movement encourages people to pay it forward when they are influenced by somebody else's act of kindness. So that way, the campaign perpetually expands. This year, Illinois State Representative and Kiwanis member Laura Fine, I saw you earlier. Hi, Mrs. Fine. She helped our local campaign become a statewide initiative. With 41 co-sponsors, Random Acts of Kindness became an official state resolution this year. Since then, over 20 Illinois schools have created their own Random Acts of Kindness movements. The campaign was intended to inspire the participation of our community, but I never expected it to reach this far. I think if we give kindness a chance, it can change our society in ways that are, perhaps unimaginable. And my conviction for kindness is most simply articulated by author Alan Lokos. If we are too busy to be kind, we are too busy. As you can see from these two instances, something great happens every day at GBS. And I'm sure you are all aware of this, that the same thing is true of Glenview. If every citizen of Glenview did something great each day, 16,577,205 great things would be accomplished by the following year. But what if we all tried to do something great every hour, every minute, every second? Math really isn't my thing, but I can tell you for certain that's a lot of great things. So, Dr. Shellard, you're right. We can make it a great day, but only if we choose to do so. I owe many thanks to Dr. Shellard, Principal Fagel, Mr. Koo, Mr. Reuter, Google Calendar, my other GBS mentors who could not be here tonight, but have been by my side all this time. Pardon me. As of this morning, I've heard the phrase, "Make it a great day, South," about 702 times. But to me, that simple phrase hasn't lost any meaning whatsoever. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, I challenge you to say to yourself, I'm going to make it a great day. Congratulations to everyone else being recognized for their efforts, and thank you to all of you for making today a great one.
That's just hard to believe that he did all those things. That's really cool that we can claim that here in Glenview. Thank you, John. Glad you went to our town and our schools. And I think it does say something about GBS. So, I mean, it's a great team for a great community. So thank you to all of you. So, you know, everyone says, why are your taxes so high? There's one of the reasons. Because they build great people and great accomplishments. And now we've been here, we got to stretch, we got to do a few things. Let's see if we can call Jill Brickman up here. As our Citizen of the Year. For a description of our Citizen of the Year, we turn to 19th century American poet, philosopher, and essayist, Ralph Waldo Emerson. The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. That's Jill Brickman's favorite quote. Not surprisingly, it tells us exactly the kind of person she is. A third-generation Glenview resident, Jill is known for her giving nature, her interest in helping others, and her desire to make the world a better place. Much of that is due to the sizable list of organizations to which she has been attached in one way or another. Here are just a few. Rotary International, Glenview Values Project, Helping Hands, for which she is a driver, Chase the Bear, now known as Hero Hustle, Toys for Tots, Chair of Glenbrook Hospital Community Advisory Committee, Volunteer Coordinator and Compassion Ministry Coordinator at the New Church, The Inner Voice, where she teaches classes on finance to recovering alcoholics in Chicago, Glenview Northbrook Coalition for Youth, Northfield Township Food Pantry, Wagging Hearts, and Illinois Giant Dog Rescue. Through her father's involvement in Rotary, Jill was practically born a Rotarian. Bill and Mary Leatia recalled Jill's work as a teenager in Rotary's Youth Exchange Program and how she helped establish the local Sunrise chapter. Not only did she help make it a reality, she quickly became the stimulus for a number of community, state, national, and worldwide activities in which Rotary Sunrise would become engaged, they wrote. Terry Mueller, the past district governor for Rotary District 6440, has known Jill for 25 years. He describes her as fair, open, a role model to others, and respected by her peers. She is unassuming and humble, while being a representative of the area whose purpose is to help others. In fact, many nominators noted that Jill's community service is often accomplished behind the scenes without regard for recognition, thanks, or appreciation. Wrote the Reverend Mark Pendleton, senior pastor at Glenview New Church, "It seems only fitting that Jill could be considered for Glenview's Citizen of the Year Award on this, its gold anniversary, because when it comes to volunteer care, support, and positive impact in Glenview and the surrounding areas, Jill Brickman is solid gold." So I would like to read a few things before we stand. So my pause, I apologize, but we do have, once again, a letter from Commissioner Greg Goslin from Cook County. We have a Citizen of the Year letters of support once again, and we have a Illinois House of Representatives certificate of recognition from our state representative, Laura Fine, once again. But more importantly, we have a plaque that says, "To the 2016 Glenview Citizen of the Year Award, presented to Jill Brickman, in honor of your outstanding involvement, selfless dedication, and continuing commitment when providing assistance and care to the members of the Glenview community. This award is given with heartfelt thanks from the service organizations and citizens of Glenview, Illinois. Glenview Civic Awards, this 21st day of April 2017, James R. Patterson Jr., President of the Village of Glenview. And Jill, congratulations. Would you like to thank you? Okay, that's up to you.
Well, thank you, everyone. It really is such an honor to receive this and to be recognized along with the other people who've been recognized this evening, and to join the ranks of the previous honorees, many of whom are friends and all of whom I admire. I thank the nominators. I'm interested to know who they are, since I've got this package now and I'll be able to identify all of you. I already told Tricia Melzer-Swaydrak, who I know was a big part of it, what an honor this is. And I will tell you that, I don't know, Sandie, it was probably a month or so ago that you called me. And since then, from that day on, I have had the strongest sense of gratitude. I mean, it's just really remarkable to think of how many things came together and enabled me to be here tonight. I grew up with a very stable family and great examples of volunteerism. I think that my sisters and I were really fortunate that way to have parents who were committed. My mother was one of the people in the Glenview Volunteer Bureau, and there probably aren't too many people here. Mary Lee probably remembers that. Oh, Jane? Okay. Anyway, this goes way back. My dad was a volunteer fireman here with Lauren Ottlinger's father and with Dale Melzer and other people. So that's a nice base from which to work. And that was coupled with a really strong community and a church home that continues to be a home for me. And that cemented relationships that continue now. I have friends here from when I was 5 years old. I have a couple of my grade school teachers here tonight. So I think that's a really helpful thing too. I grew up in a town with stable leadership and people who are really committed to the betterment of the community. I've been fortunate enough to have just terrific coworkers and fellow Rotarians who are also my friends. And most of all, I have just the most amazing group of friends, a couple of whom are here from out of state tonight. It's really quite overwhelming. My friends, whether they're old friends or newer friends, contribute in their own ways, and I think that all of this knits together. Some of you have heard me say that I think we're really a unique community, excuse me, in the way we do all work together. There's just such a commitment to teamwork, and it makes such a difference, and it's something that I feel is unique here. And I'm told that by people from other communities. So I'm very proud to be a part of that. And I, again, am very grateful, and I want to say thank you to everyone here for making me feel like the luckiest person in the world. Thank you.
Well done.
This is really a
Well
treat.
deserved.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I get all this?
I have to tell you, this has been one of the more inspiring years with people that are truly outward focused, and all the way around. Every one of these awards this evening was people helping others, and it makes you want to aspire to do more, whatever it is. But I will tell you that our community is stronger than we give it credit for. And so many times I show up in HOA, homeowner association meetings, and I say, if you don't know me, that's a compliment to our staff and to our community that everything is working so well. And when you have people that are helping each other out and creating things and ideas that are going to the state legislature, to other places, ideas that are growing, that you're nurturing and we are helping each other, those are great things. But I will also tell you that this organization doesn't have any way to perpetuate itself. If you like what's going on here, I encourage you really and truly to raise your hand, reach out to Kevin and Linda, to someone and say, this concept of Citizen of the Year, of Youth of the Year, of Public Safety, these civic awards, it's kind of a cool idea. This is our largest attendance that we've had in forever, but I will tell you that over the last few years, you can look at service clubs and you can look at lots of other things, and they're declining. There is a bit of a resurgence. The people that are here, and maybe it's John. I mean, everything he's touched has grown. And that's cool. But we really do need some new life. And yes, we should make these a bit briefer. And yes, they're fun. I get it. I don't want to be here all night. But I do want to at least encourage all of you to do something. If you like this, I think it is terrific that we recognize our own and what they have accomplished, just the fact that you took time to be here this evening and that you know someone else. This is wonderful. So be proud of your community. Thank you for coming out this evening. And I hope you all believe in this as much as all these people who put their passion right here did this evening. Have a good evening, Glenview.